Welcome to the IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships from Harbor Center in downtown Buffalo, New York. Day one, and now time for Pool B action coming up in this preliminary round as an all-European matchup takes place at center stage. Italy performed well in Sochi just over a year ago at the Paralympics, and the German side, relatively unknown, now returned to Pool A and looking to hold on to their top 8 ranking in the world. I'm Brett Pope, and alongside me is our ice sledge hockey expert commentator, two-time world champion, and twice a Paralympic gold medalist, Taylor Lipson, now retired from the U.S. men's national program. As you look at Group B, and they're just in alphabetical order. We are just getting started in day one. And Taylor, we have an interesting and well-matched game in store between these two sides. Relatively sort of same position coming in, 6th and 7th in the world, respectively. What do we really expect from this match here today?
This should be a pretty good matchup. I think the Germans and Italians are pretty well matched up here. It's really going to come down to who can capitalize on the other team's mistakes. Like you mentioned, we haven't seen a lot of Germany in Pool A in a while, so it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table here early on. And we see Italy breaking the huddle here. They can always come out really strong, led by Florian Planker and Rosa. That's who they'll be relying on here today, and we'll see what the Germans could do to hold them up.
There you see the Germans in the predominantly white uniforms with the black and gold and red trim, and a couple German fans traveled a long distance to get here to Buffalo. You're most welcome wherever you're watching around the world. Please stay with us here. This is an exciting sport if you're just tuning in, and if you're a little bit more of an expert and know more about the sport, then you know a little bit about this team. You may have seen, like I said, just over a year ago in Sochi in the Paralympics, as we look at Arado, who will be in goal, and then it is the whole lineup there as we're looking in at their coach, and that is Massimo Derin, the Italian head coach. And he was the man behind the bench as well a year ago at those Paralympics. And then here are Germany now back into Pool A as a result of their qualification back into this group. But a little bit of a difference here as we look at the goaltender. It's going to be Kunst in goal. A little bit of a different qualification as far as the Paralympic round and also the World Championships. It's Pokorny, the head coach, but we'll talk a little bit more about that to help our viewers understand. But ice sledge hockey is, well, if you've not heard about it, well, I'm not sure where you've been, but this is pretty high octane stuff you're in store for. It's really ice hockey for those with impairments, and equally maybe a little bit of rugby in there as well. We saw a lot of good puck possession as we look at Arado in goal, certainly in this competition so far, and I'm sure this will be really a battle of keeping that puck and making, as you say, the best of your chances when they come today.
Both of these teams have players with good speed and a couple of players that love the physical aspect of the game. So like you said, it's definitely a full contact sport. And yeah, whoever makes the most mistakes and whoever capitalizes on those mistakes is going to determine the winner and loser today.
Stoop, you're looking at there. And one of those will be starting, number 55. And then there's their captain looking on. That's Renhack, who will lead the charge from the front. And as we mentioned, the Italians in the light blue with the dark blue trim, and there's Planker, who is very formidable indeed as we're about to get underway in Pool B. And they'll battle for it, and almost a little bit like a bully-off if you're more familiar with hockey or field hockey, depending on where you're watching from around the world. But it is the Italians from left to right who will take possession, well lofted into an area. And that's almost a little bit like a rugby kick, really just looking for possession, getting into a spot and then trying to win it back. But the Italians are forced into their own zone, and they'll just regroup and hold up and make sure they hold their lines and then try to establish some possession going north, as we might say, in the sport of ice hockey, going north, meaning on the attack, south in defense, and that's an east-west pass across the blue line. Here come the Italians with great control here into the inside, and well defended by the Germans to collapse and get back. And those were two guys, Blanker and Rosa, two players the Germans will want to keep an eye on today, and particularly as they're getting themselves back to Pool A competition, it's so important for them to be playing strong against a side that's a comparable side to them in the world.
Yeah, the Germans did a good job there of containing Rosa and Planker. Definitely a good chance for them to get a shot on net. The German guy disrupted the pass across and checked Rosa right as he was trying to feed it over. So not a bad start for Germany.
That contact is allowed. We've seen it, and if you're just tuning in, that is a part of the game, entirely legal. And those hits, even though it disrupts the player and they end up falling off of their sledge, that just front head-on-head collision is actually not only allowed, but encouraged, some might say, the spectators who quite enjoy it.
Definitely encouraged, and you see it more in the U.S., Canada, Russia games. But the European countries, even in the earlier games today, we've seen a lot more physicality being brought to the table from some of these European teams. I guess the physical part of the game is really catching on all over the world.
McCry and Kiroti. There's McCry, who is one of those names as well. The Italians were in amongst it in Sochi. And what a tournament that was. And another opportunity here at the World Championships to take the profile and the just further exposure for the sport to another level as the Italians go into their own defensive zone off of that defensive zone face-off. They are dispossessed. The Germans are looking for a linking play into the slot area, but it's held well. The Italians in blue will start to march forward, and they come up as a block of 5. And now they're all dispersed a little bit. The Germans do well to get in those lanes and to disrupt them. That's played down the ice, and the referee with his hand up in the air, and as it crosses the goal line, it does go for icing, and hence the face-off will come all the way back. We're just inside of a couple minutes in this first match in Pool B. And the Germans and the Italians just feeling each other out, just trying to get a sense for how this game is going to play out, as both these teams in day one just wanting to get that rhythm and get those bodies involved in this game.
Both teams have been here for a few days now, so just getting the rush shaken off. You know, game situation is so much different than practice. So just like you said, feeling each other out here, and I would expect to see some attacking going on here pretty soon.
Laperti will play that in. It's a long play, well just directed safety from Kunst into the corner. And it almost looks quite casual, but it's just about getting the puck to an area where his defenders can hopefully get to it first, secure it, and then make a good play to come out of the zone, which they've done here now. They will skate strong coming through this neutral zone, putting this Italian defense, and that is Rosa right back, who is being quickly guided by these German forecheck. And they've been able to win it back, and often if there isn't a perfect play to be made or a direct play to be made, it's just about trying to win territory and keep possession, as Rosa will go back in behind the Italian goal. Quickly pressured coming in, it's Stump who is on him. It's just touched out of that line, and those are those battles for territory. This ice divided into effectively 3 zones, the defensive, neutral zone, and offensive zone. As it'll come around the board, kept in well. The scores, who was taken off of his skates, but he keeps it in. He's just getting himself back upright again. And now the Italians, and Werner Winkler, and they've been giving it up a little bit as they've come out of their end zone. And this time again, lofted, kept in by the Germans. This is their captain. And this is Renhack. Renhack, who just finds himself a little out of sorts. Has a regroup though, but they've turned it over once again. And the Germans right now are sensing an opportunity, if they can apply this pressure, that they might be gifted an opportunity directly from the Italians.
The Italians having a hard time chipping the puck out of the zone. It seems like they're just kind of throwing the puck, trying to get it away from the pressure. And Germans are doing a good job on the points of keeping the puck in and pinching in here.
Aggressive play and a shot in there. Whistled off the stick to Stump, and he gets it in. And Arado has to be ready for that one. That's right in the midsection. Not always the easiest save to make.
It's an impressive steal here by Renhack on Rosa. Just creating that pressure and the turnover. Tries to feed it across, but Rosa recovers and blocks it, but gets the Italians pinned in their zone a little bit there for a couple minutes.
The Italians playing with fire, as when they've gotten that clear possession, they need to be able to make positive play out of their own zone, and the Germans have done well. Disrupted a shot here off the faceoff, a first step for the second one. Have they got a third ask of that puck and a shot on goal? They do, but it is Rosa again who just throwing out just sort of a a really misguided clearing attempt, and it's kind of a halfway between a pass and a clearance, and it's really neither, and it sits in between them. As here are the Germans again. Herring with a shot from the outside. It goes up past the right corner, and I think if that's on the goal, it's potentially in the goal, as the Italians will take it the other way quickly. This is Werner Winkler, who is disrupted, and they're hunting in packs right now, the Germans, at their own defensive blue line.
Good job by the Italians to finally get out of the zone and create some pressure here. Planker will go in and try to keep the puck down low here for a minute and see if they can't create an option.
Good work from Planker out front, dangerous play, and a great defensive recovery to get back in that shooting lane, as Kuntz was really expecting the pass to come out from the long side, and it was that short side deposit right out in front of the goal, and a little bit of trickery. There's going to be a penalty, though, coming up, and it looks to be coming against the Germans.
Yeah, we got a holding call here. The German forward just one extra grab there at the end to try to hold up Winkler. But a good chance for Italy down there in the offensive zone. He fooled me. He would have gotten me if I was the goalie on that one.
And they will just get themselves prepared for this power play opportunity for the Italians. They bent, but they didn't break, and here's a chance for them to now go on the board first, as the Germans have really been applying the pressure first of all.
They had a couple great scoring chances down here, just missed the net wide. And like you said, if that's on net, I think he might have been able to pick that corner. It looked like it was open. So pretty impressed by the Germans so far. The defender to follow that pass out front and get a body in front of it. Definitely, I think, saved his team a goal there.
Certainly did, as it looked to be a surprise play. Everybody anticipating the pass coming out from behind the goal to be around the long side. And the Germans then actually under a little bit of duress, and they're forced to take this penalty. And now sitting down is Lowenstein. And now you'll see it again. This is a great play. And it's Planker who just slices it out in front. And again, position is king. So important to clog up that front of the net. This power play opportunity for the Italians. And Kiroti will just play it down in the corner. The parity back to Kiroti. And they will just work it around, offloading. It's just touched on by a German stick. It looked to be as though the Germans are going to take a chance to apply some offensive pressure as soon as they got good possession of that puck. But all the way back, they will go again. And it's their defensive, real offensive-minded defenseman, Rosa, who has the puck back on his stick. Across this line, he is upended just ever so slightly. And maybe a chance there potentially for the Germans to strike and to use it as an offensive opportunity. But Renhack, the captain, will just make certain that the Italians are forced right back in behind their own goal. And nothing easy coming up middle of the ice, as he just controls that middle of the ice territory. The Germans are to it first, and that loose play from the Italians right now is needing to be tidied up potentially, because the Germans look as though they could take advantage of that and transition quickly.
The Italians are just a little off sync, trying to enter the zone here. A couple turnovers, offside call right here, and it's interesting to see if the Germans will take an opportunity to get a little offense on this penalty kill. We've seen a couple of shorthanded goals today so far, so why not another?
And they've got a few, just under a minute, and precious seconds for the Italians to take advantage of this man advantage opportunity. Planker in on it first, well taken and controlled, and the assistant captain there, Jaster, with a real clever play with great poise and composure. Now, the parity will go across that right wing line from a distance. He sends it on past Kuntz, in on it first. And this is Florian Planker in behind. And Planker, you'll hear his name called a lot today. He's always in and around the action. And he still has the puck. He's the closest man to it. He's waiting to see if Rosa could have come down the slot area. But the Germans, again, are careful, and they keep in those passing lanes.
You'll definitely see Rosa and Planker try to hook up for a couple set plays throughout the game. It's definitely Italy's two best options to generate some offense. And they're both very patient with the puck. They try not to force much and just let the puck and their play do the work.
Good work again, a long play, pressure though coming on And it is a real skate race to get there. Shot in. Here's a scramble. In front, all alone. Backhand. What a save. And it's a tremendous opportunity. The best of the game so far. And Schrader is the man who gets the opportunity as a result of the turnover. And the Italians, again, a little careless in their own zone.
One of the youngsters in the German program. We see him applying pressure here on the forecheck and creates the turnover, and just couldn't get the backhand up quite high enough to put it in, but great pressure.
And it's a tremendous save as he lays down and takes away the opportunity. And Arado keeping this game scoreless, but that's the best scoring chance of the game for either side thus far. 5-on-5 action. The Italians trying to get out of their own zone. Large will just shovel it off the boards, make sure to clear his line. This has been a little bit careless the opposite direction, and it really is about not making that extra mistake that could be the difference. And it could be a little thing like that that could be the difference in a scoreline between these two very tightly matched teams.
Without a doubt. We saw that mistake there almost lead to a goal, and now an icing. Italy will try to get some sustained pressure on the German defensive zone here and create some of their own chances.
And a face-off for the Italians as we look in at Massimo Durin on the Italian bench. And so the Germans with 2-1 the opportunity on scoring chances. And it's as good a chance, obviously, to score as you're going to get as they just had a moment ago. As it'll come up the boards, but they'll just muscle it out and force the Italians again to use a lot of energy to go back in their own zone as we are 6 minutes and 50 remaining in this first period of Pool B action. You're watching the Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships from Buffalo to New York, and this is Stoom coming in, a shot. It's a good save from Murado. It's still available though, and Radice will just see it around the boards and into the neutral zone.
The Germans are doing a good job of forechecking here, creating some turnovers in the Italian zone.
They're coming back, and they're actually going, we can say, south to try and get themselves generated into an offensive structure. Radice, well, he's getting hemmed in by this German forecheck, and they don't mind that, the Germans. If you want to retreat, we'll continue to put pressure and hope that we can dispossess you and get a chance on a turnover. As again, it's come around this side. Schrader, his first one to it. And he is met by Large, but Schrader's on his own. He tries to get it out. And they are, again, the Germans working in good numbers, but taking the right angles, making it difficult for this Italian defense. Stepping in, is there a late play here? A shot from a distance, well taken, and it just goes wide. Stoop, what a tremendous effort there. He misses the goal. Again, I think he's got the goaltender beaten if it's on net, but behind again, it's 2-on-2. The Germans again trying to win this puck back as we march down in 5 minutes remaining in this first period. Out front, and Arado stretches out and takes away that goal mouth pass coming from the corner. And his team needed a break, and he's given them one for a second. Arado earning his keep in the Italian goal.
Here we see a great chance by Sven Stoom jumping in from defense on the play. Just missed the net wide, similar to the play earlier on in the period that he had. If he could just put that puck on net, that's 2 goals that Germany could have scored here right off the bat.
And maybe a little bit of disruption at the end there by the Italian defender, just so not keeping him in his perfectly a balanced position. He doesn't maybe get all of it, and then the shot kind of fades to the right-hand side, but it shows you just how important it is as the defense not only to be in the way, but try and disrupt the shooter, disrupt their balance as they're getting in a position to shoot the puck.
Definitely. Germany really surprising me right now with their speed and physicality, keeping the Italians hemmed in their zone and really playing well.
Bat will play it in behind. Arado will have to see his defensive teammate Planker playing around the boards, and he's been able to clear his line. That won't go hard enough for icing. And both defenders for the German side going back and immediately on the attack. And that is Caligaris, who is forcing this German side back out into the slot area, though, and they have found a way to unlock this Italian forecheck, and here they come again on the transition. Great hit from Rosa, though, to seal off the German forecheck. And now the other way, Caligaris at the line, hit hard, but as he was hit, he actually ended up forcing himself offside as it was just before the line. And Herring playing physical and helping his side keep this game in check.
The check by Herring there just to disrupt coming across the blue line there, definitely saved a scoring chance for Planker. Lots of good hitting going on, shoulder to shoulder. Again, physicality definitely encouraged in the sport of hockey and ice sledge hockey as well.
The Italians with a long attended pass, and it will go the length of the ice, but the officials allow it to go as the player was just mildly impeded or interfered on the play, so therefore icing is called off. And now the Germans will try and race it down. Great speed here, look at him go. And Renhak is almost just powering his way, almost like a bobsledder does as they get themselves before they head down the run. He was just digging for ice, and you look at that, obviously people do or don't know, but the sticks, as you look at them there, obviously the picks in the end of them, and the goaltender also has a pick, not only sometimes move around the net, but on the back of their glove as well, and equally on the heel of their stick too.
Right. One of the more dynamic aspects of ice sledge hockey is that the players are using both hands to propel themselves all of the time, as well as use both hands to pass and shoot. So very dynamic in that aspect, and they have to be ready to switch their grips, you know, from skating to passing or shooting or receiving a pass, you know, in the blink of an eye.
There's a lot going on, and it is scoreless at the moment in Pool B, as just inside of 4 minutes remaining in this first period. And they will take a chance here now. Can they get a little bit of an odd man break? Trying to just hold and wait. It Schroeder does a good job not to go offside on the play. This is maybe a chance, though, as waiting for the service and bodies in the way. Kiroti making sure that that's not an easy pass. And he just keeps the Germans at bay. But you can sense that one of these sides is just going to unlock the door here even before the end of this first period as they are pushing and probing. There's a shot from Pat up and over the goal, and the lofted and elevated shot seems to be the shot of choice. The most vulnerable area, it appears, is at the top of the net, and that was the intention there, but he put it up over the crossbar. And now they'll go back as Pat will just look to recover it, find a German line change, and look to find some new energized troops out there. But here is Rosa. He is coming forward. He's got Pats kind of with his back to him, shot there, and he had a little bit on it, and it was a good save by Coombs. He had to be equal to it, and the puck now still in the corner. The Italians with some pressure now, as they'll just try and hem this German side in and make the most of this last shift here as they're moving through. But it's a good save, and Kuntz knows that that was probably an opportunity for the Italians to push and possibly unlock the door, and he'll just take the whistle and a face-off in front of him onto the left-hand side.
Give his guys a chance to switch lines here, take a breath. You can see here the attack from the Italians. Didn't have a great angle on the shot, but still got it on net. Maybe have a guy coming down the middle next time to pick up and a rebound. But the German defense is looking pretty good, led by Pabst on the back end there. He's been playing for a long time and one of the more veteran players on the German team.
They'll have it now, Renhak, who is now in a defensive position. You've seen him on the forecheck too, and very determined captain for this German side. They just try to link it together as they get themselves turned around, waiting for that service coming from their own defensive zone. And they've got it now. They need to have some support in numbers trying to link it up. They can't quite connect the pass. And the Italians, well, just offside, is having to work so hard. And that's the thing, isn't it? Once you've gone into the offensive zone and the puck hasn't, so much work to get back into a good position. And it's a debate as to whether or not stopping is the better route or whether just to kind of curl and come back and maintain your momentum.
And one of the more difficult things in sled hockey compared to stand-up hockey is you can't skate backwards to quickly get back on side, or you can't necessarily drag that back leg across the blue line. Once that sled's momentum has you going over the blue line, there's not a whole lot you can do to stop from going over it.
They push on, the face-off, won by the Germans. They'll keep possession, but again, a real shadow as McCry does not let his man loose, and he keeps him right in check. Working now, and they'll take this possession. Turned over and disrupted again, and it probably is really the best word really to say about the Germans. They've been quite disruptive in this first period as the Italians are looking for a little bit more flow, looking for a little bit more space out there. They battle for possession. They've got it, but they haven't got the strength and numbers as there's two German defenders now coming in. They've got a couple Italians. They've got a 3-on-3, and it's a real battle to get control. There you see the sticks and the bodies, the gloves, and even though he's off of his sledge, he's still eligible to be playing that puck.
The ref really letting him play down there. The puck must have been fairly loose. Like you said, they're just battling for it along the boards there.
Whoa! Oh! Out of nowhere, and McCry calls for a late goal, and he scores one as he sends a missile from an odd angle. And Kunst is beaten high over the glove side, and McCry, oh my, has he done the unthinkable here against the flow, as right out of the corner, lifts it, lofts it, and buries it. And McCry puts the Italians on the board first.
Great battle along the boards there. Puck got poked back to McCry, sitting right at the hash marks, and he just saw an opening at the top of the net and put it right on net through maybe a partial screen. Great shot, great goal for the Italians.
And another example of how elevating the puck becomes so difficult to defend, and particularly from an angle there just coming off the boards. And to put it, it just shows you almost like even a corner kick in football or soccer. So difficult once it gets in that elevated area for the goaltender to get to. And a tremendous goal from the Italians, who have felt a little bit maybe lucky given the amount of pressure that they've conceded to the Germans. But you make your own luck, and they've done that here. Inside of a minute remaining in this first period, Herring now will take it forward. There's a chance for Vetta. He'll come, will he go and do the same thing? Up high, and it's over. Arado's outstretched arms. And a tremendous effort there. And it will be McCry who gets it. And Werner Winkler with the assist at 13:56. And they take the lead. They'll come again, the Italians in blue. Over that offensive line. It's onside. Maybe a late chance here one more time as McCry got a second. It goes off the defender, the German into the corner. And they just get ahead on it, I think, just to make certain that they protect their goal, and they will leave the scoreline, and they'll leave this first period after 15 minutes. And the Italians with a late strike, really, and grabbing themselves some momentum to lead this first 15.
Yeah, that was a great first period. Good pace to the game. Again, another physical matchup here, and the Italians able to just capitalize on that battle down in the corner. Put the puck on the net, you never know what can happen.
Think about Arado, the save he made coming out of the corner, probably one of the best opportunities. Schroeder really could have opened the score for the Germans and been 1-0 up. It didn't happen, and they make something happen really from nothing. Kind of a partial opportunity, but it's a full-blown goal, and the Italians will take the lead after the first 15 minutes. You're watching the IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships. And that's your score after 15. Join us for the second period. The Italians have the 1-0 lead, just 2 shots apiece. And the 1 goal to show from that first 15 minutes of action. There you see the 2 shots. 4 scoring chances, though, potentially for the Germans. And there, well, the face-offs are pretty well equal. Power play, the 1 opportunity for the Italians. And that was a good first period, but it was all about the 1 opportunity the Italians converted on. As we look at some of the great defense from the Germans as well.
There's a lot of good defense by both sides in that first period. The Germans doing a good job of getting their bodies in front of the puck, taking away scoring chances from the Italians, and both teams doing a good job of putting the body on the opponent. Good clean hits, shoulder to shoulder. Again, encouraged in this sport. And both teams just playing really hard, a good pace of the game so far, and we've got a good one in our hands here.
And it's a very evenly matched setup, this Pool B encounter, but this was the play. Winkler and McCree, who goes up and over. And this is just one of those plays that you just make from an awkward angle, and we're talking about it, how difficult it is to defend, not only when the puck is elevated, but particularly from that angle too. And possibly he surprises Cooks in goal. He wasn't anticipating the shooting that quickly, and next thing you know, it's in the back of the net. And it was really against kind of an awkward play as Winkler was kind of down, and he just shoveled it out, and McCree just made the most of his opportunity. It
was definitely a quick release, which I do think caught Kunsthoff off guard a little bit. But in his defense, as a sledge hockey goalie, it's really hard to get that blocker up in time just because of their positioning lower to the ice. It's tough to get that blocker up above your head to take away that top portion of the net, especially on those sharp angles.
And there you're looking at the man, and he had a great period. He made some tremendous saves. Just that one difference there. You see the actual spikes in the back of his glove there, and it just is probably the best angle you're going to have to see how he uses the glove to get himself across the net and to push himself from post to post as much as he uses his stick and obviously his skates as well.
One of the most crucial things for a sledge hockey goalie to be able to do is get post to post, and that's definitely what helps them achieve that. And you see there they have metal blades there to help them catch an edge when they tip over, but the plastic that you see helps them slide post to post as well. You can see the picks on the end of the stick there, and also right on the heel, right where he's holding, you can kind of see the rounded picks that are attached that gives him that little extra push side to side.
It's going to be a small thing. You can sense it between these two sides, and it was just a partial window of an opportunity that McCree took advantage of, and that's the difference after the first period. We are set and underway in a moment's time for the second, and we are, as Planker will take control. The Italians in light blue with dark blue trim from right to left are forcing the Germans right away. And it's just that one goal, the difference in it. And these goaltenders are going to have to do their part of the bargain here. Renhack, the captain for the German side, to take control, but immediately he attracts Planker. Planker side on, out-muscles him, uses his shoulder, and this is a chance here from the outside, and once again, an elevated shot. Winkler rushes it, is it off the short post, and it's a save, and immediately Kuntz is under attack.
Kunst again having a little problem with that sharp angle shot there. Luckily he got enough of it this time, but it looks like he might be injured there on the follow-up from the Italian player.
You see him just taking the helmet off and just getting himself a opportunity to regroup here as we watch the replay.
You see Calagras here fighting through the check and then cross his body across ice and just getting enough of it with his glove hand there. And then a rebound chance. Didn't quite sneak in on the far side there.
And you see immediately Kuntz actually indicating there with his glove hand that he was calling for medical attention potentially. The way he fell to make that save, and I don't think he's just flagging his own defense to get back and support him. I think immediately he had jarred something as he fell to the ice making that save.
Yeah, I think maybe the puck hit his glove hand somewhere where there's not quite as much padding, maybe a little lower on his arm.
And there you see the coaching staff looking on. Those were the German coaches. And that's Andreas McCorney, but this is now the Italians back in their own zone. Rosa who will just bank it off into a corner, but it's a German stick that it falls on. Rosa ends up going up and over, and an aggressive approach from the Germans. It worked for them, disrupting the Italian breakout in the first period. They're trying it again, and this is a good play, though. Can't quite connect on the first attempt, and then a skate race to get down to it. And turning back on himself, it's a great defensive play to get away from that trouble. That's Sven Stumpt, but he's back again. He's having a battle with Winkler, and Winkler was in a similar position on the goal. Just trying to battle his man, falling to one side, and then making a little touch-out play like that, but this time it'll go all the way down. It goes through his defenders at the blue line, and the Italians are forced to have to go 200 feet back and work again in their own defensive zone. No penalty on the play. He's allowed that sort of push. It's part of the physical contact, but almost looked a little bit from the side or maybe even from the back.
Yeah, it was a little from the back, but it wasn't, you know, with the intent to injure or harm or anything like that. Pretty much just gave the Italian player a little boost, actually, so worked to his disadvantage, in fact.
Good work. Here they'll come. And wide side play. There is some daylight down this left wing. And Caligaris out front. Oh, and a save again. And Kuntz is good value in goal for the Germans. He's lost his helmet, and the play is blown dead as Kuntz right now. Not only has he lost his helmet, but he might need a new chin strap on that. And like we said, we weren't sure when he went down at the last option play. And look at Rosa from the defensive position. And that's what we call using your head, folks. Not only does he get his head in the way, but enough to take the helmet right off his head. And there you see it falling, and he's quickly back into shape.
Tells you a little something about goaltenders here. Even without the helmet, he immediately just gets back in his crease ready to make the next save.
Reminds us of those old days before they even wore masks. And yes, probably the majority of you watching can hardly believe that that's the case as we look at equal on scoring chances, that goalies would play that position and they would not wear a mask. And let me tell you, these scars and the stitches in their faces while they tell the story. That's a great save there, and literally using his head as the Italians come across the line, and they are advancing before the puck gets over first, and the referee's quickly on it and calling the offside call. But lively start to the second period, and Kuntz really being tested.
He's doing a great job in net keeping the Germans in this game. There's been a few wide open shots for the Italians, and he's made some great saves, and Germany's got to try to get something going here in the offensive zone, try to get that goal back.
You were looking at Massimo Darin on the Italian bench, and they'll work and get this in. Carlo Muir standing beside him. He was helping us with the pronunciation of some of these Italian players earlier. So a close-knit group here, everybody involved, making sure these players can perform to the best, and we can showcase it around the world for all of you watching and enjoying it wherever you might be watching this today. Kiroti has now got the puck in the offensive zone, and just a floating high player here for the Germans. The intended pass to connect, and it can't be linked up with Lowenstein, but really trying to stretch out the Italian defense and looking to send one player high and forcing, well, the Germans and, well, forcing the Italian defense back.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, back when my playing days, we used to play Germany quite a bit, and they always liked that stretch pass. That was always one of their most used plays, and they had a double amputee back in the day that usually made you pay the price on those stretch passes. Sebastian Kessler.
The reason why is they are often a little swifter because they aren't carrying the weight of their legs, the WMT, but going across the line. This is the Germans trying to attack, trying to level this game. A chance here, it's up over the bar again, and really it's at least 2-1. How many times the puck goes in and it's up over the crossbar as opposed to missing left and right, but that seems to be the preferred shot of choice, and it's because we've seen it work so effectively. A dump in here from the Italians, and forcing this German side back. It will just pop free and just chipped out to safety for a little bit of a temporary relief, and then Rosa will see it back in behind Kuntz again. And the Italians keeping an eye on this line change. The Germans trying to stretch them and looking for that easy play. Shot in, up over the bar, and redirected. Flanker from the outside.
The Germans really need to bear down and focus on following through on their shots, rolling that wrist over and really pointing the end of their stick where they want the puck to go, and they'll bring those shots down, and instead of going over the net, possibly get a shot on net and a better scoring chance.
And there's an example of just the quick swipe in the puck, and actually goes out of play into the Italian bench, and both sides will just get themselves a moment just to collect their thoughts. It has been fast and furious in the second period. The Italians still with a 1-goal advantage.
See a great scoring chance here from Germany. Ved just puts the puck just over the crossbar. Defenseman got in front of the puck again, and then the Italians come down and put a nice shot on net as well. Sklor's doing his goaltender a little duty there, blocking the puck for him, giving him a shot off there.
And both teams with a moment of pause, getting themselves back and ready to resume play at the Harbor Center. What a fabulous facility as you see the action here. We're actually up on the 5th floor, and this is where the development pads are, right adjacent to the First Niagara Center, the home of the Buffalo Sabres. And the Italians are perched and ready on this offensive zone faceoff to try and double their lead if they can. It's a great battle in front, and it will make its way out into the neutral zone. A race, and the German captain immediately applying pressure. That's Frank Renhack. And Stoop, we just see that out in an area. It's a good one. Schroeder, they had a great opportunity in that first period. He'll just wrap it around, and immediately the Germans employing the forecheck. I've
been really impressed with Schroeder so far. This is the first time I've gotten to see him play in person. He's one of their younger players, and he's got good poise. He's making good area passes, using his body. Impressive young player for the Germans.
Arado makes a good save right in the middle of his body, and it's the difficult one, isn't it? The goaltenders use that blocker to keep themselves balanced, and then they've got to get ready to then make the catch with their glove hand. And when it's in the middle of their body sometimes, keeping their balance as they prepare for that puck to arrive can sometimes be a little bit of a challenge.
It's a bit awkward, and I've seen it handcuff goalies before a little bit there. You know, you're not really sure if you should try to catch it with your glove or use your blocker, so definitely awkward. Good save.
Cleared up and over the top, 2-on-2. The Italians actually across the line first, and they don't call it offside. Oh, and it's Pills who just wraps one and almost banks it right out in front of Kunst. Immediately to it, though, is Rosa. And Rosa will try and come up with it. He does. Is he going to get free with that right-handed shot? It's blocked, though. Quickly, the German defense is very stingy indeed, and Kunst just snatches that one like a butterfly and puts it in the holster to restart in the face-off in front to the left, and line changes from both sides.
Another good job by the German defense here, getting the body in front of the puck. We can see they're not scared to, sacrifice themselves to prevent a scoring chance. And you take away some of these blocked shots, and Italians probably have 7 or 8 shots on net.
They certainly have been very stingy, and they've been difficult. They collapse well, don't they? They recover and get into a good position. There you see the advantage, and 3-1 the shots for the Italians in this period. But it's about generating a little bit more offense for the Germans. They are doing a great job at defending, but they'd love to go and maybe even take their chance offensively while just hemming back these Italians for a little bit. But some good work on the boards. And again, strength in numbers as they come in. The puck is still free. The referee right there to allow play to continue. Hiroti Leperdi for the Italians working. And now just a drive through, just opens that puck up there and loosens play. Going in, Herring all the way, and diving and getting out there, and a little snow job to boot as well. As he comes a long way from home, and well, the Italian forward decides, well, he'll let him know, the German forward, what he thinks of that.
Yeah, Herring just telling the goalie he probably made the right decision there, spraying him with a little ice shavings in the face. Rosa takes offense and is there to back up his goalie.
And Good work here, maybe a part of getting some momentum generated for this German side, who has spent a lot of this second period already in a defensive position. So a chance to go forward, a chance to express themselves and try to unlock this Italian defense, who they haven't maybe asked enough questions of in this second period. Line changes as Disval is in on this draw. They will work for it. It finally comes free, and McCree, the goal scorer in this hockey game, in the first period at 13:56, so just outside of a minute remaining in that first period. And McCree gets the goal from Binkler, and it was the high elevated shot from really the board area, and nothing that Kuntz could do about it as they work the Italians in their own zone. Up off the glass, great elevation, actually works in their favor. The broken play, Germans, they'll use the full height of the boards there in front of the Italian bench. And McCree back in a defensive alignment. They've kept it in. This is better for the Germans. They've got some strength in numbers. A shot, and that's a scrambling effort to have to come across Arado to keep that out. And more difficult than maybe it appears, that save, as he takes that one in the glove and settles the play down.
It was a little bit tricky there because his defenseman was right in front of him, so could have been partially screened on it. And when the puck stays on the ice and it's coming under sleds, sometimes it's tough to track it, even with your defenseman trying to stand his ground in front of you.
And you saw the puck skip there, actually a little bit en route to Arado, but that falling to one side to take away the lower half of the net as you're falling and collapsing to one side, obviously there's a little bit of room underneath the body, but the Italians will take collection of it. Here they go, and in full stride. Can he get the corner? He just about does. No penalty, and the referee keeps his hands down at his side. The Germans think they're coming out of the zone. They haven't quite yet, and they will just about. No, and it's kept in and ever close. They were hoping to go in the transition game themselves, the Germans, while the Italians were still kind of stuck in the zone. They've got some numbers here. Schroeder, Disval, regrouping back Renhack, and Renhack just deflects it off of Flanker, and waiting for the puck to fall favorably. Now they're rolling across the line, but again, the Germans back in numbers. Kalakaris, they need to get going the other way, though. Here they will now. Disval, Renhack, across the line, and something that's dangerous. And he snaps that from outside the blue line, and that wasn't far off of leveling this game.
The referee really letting him play extremely physical in this game so far. A couple questionable calls that either bench hasn't been necessarily happy with, or no calls, that is. It looks like he's going to make up for one right here, possibly.
And the Germans to touch it, and the penalty coming against the German side, and a power play window as you're looking, and it seems to be a boarding call. The official will just see his indication. And what is that indication, or is that a hooking?
I think it's going to be boarding. Basically, if you take more than 3 or 4 strides to come and check a player, you can see here. Oh no, he used his sled, the end of his sled, to kind of ram the Italian player's bucket out from under him. So boarding, teeing, a little bit of both on that call.
An aggressive play. Renhack, who was a little frustrated, didn't have some more speed to the neutral zone. They were hoping to take the transition game back against the Italians. They couldn't. They've been forced into taking a penalty, and now the Italian power play. And could this be the difference in the game? But Venom, here they go. Herring with them. Why not take a chance? A great little offload. But what a great play by Venom to actually stay back defensively to make sure that they've taken care of home base, that they are on the penalty kill. And they're applying the pressure and trying to push the Italians back and not make it easy. Here's a turnover. Here's a great play, well disguised. It goes off the back, and maybe a little bit more elevation there from Herring could have been the answer. But again, the Italians will regroup, trying to get themselves going on this power play.
The Germans doing a good job on the forecheck, running a one-person forecheck on the penalty kill. One guy go in, the other guy drops back, and then they switch depending on where the puck is and try to get control and shoot it down.
Some great work there from the Germans as we march down in a minute remaining in this power play. And they force the Italians back again. They're kind of working in a 1-3 set. And they'll take away the angles. Again, they've been able to turn the puck over, but they haven't been able to maintain possession. And here is the goal scorer, McCree, and the long effort this time is just to get in the zone and hopefully to get one of his teammates on it, but they're a little bit late arriving at the party. This is going to be potentially a break. A long ways for Herring to go. Great work, though, from the Italians to get back into position as they power into a good defensive structure from the outside. Arado will just set that down. Impressive work, though, from the big man. And that's Bernard Herring to come in and disrupt the breakout.
Great forechecker here on the on the penalty kill for Germany is Herring, creating all kinds of problems for the Italians. You see, there's one of him down there and 3 Italians, and they're just struggling to get it out of the zone and get something going here on the power play.
5 seconds remaining on the power play, and that pretty well is it now. As just coming back on the ice, 5-on-5. Winkler will turn and look to see what his options are. He's been able to get it to Rosa. He keeps it in. And now Planker. Planker has lost one of his sticks. And it's almost a little bit like losing an oar. When you're in a boat, you're kind of on your own there to keep yourself propelled going forward. And the work is being done here now for Renhack to get it. He was the man in the box. He can't get it up quite quickly enough, and his window was open only for a second. He needed to hit his target, but now it's the Italians who will come forward, and McCree just advances across the line before the puck could.
An Italian player and German player just caught up there. Couldn't get disjointed, so the Italian could get back on side, so forced offsides.
There you see it. It is still 1-0 for the Italians. 4:12 remaining in this second period. Teams returning and getting themselves set for a face-off just outside of the German defensive blue line. And there you look at Massimo Durin. He is the coach and architect of this Italian side. And right now, feeling decent about their prospects in this one, but equally it's just a shot away.
Got to be pleased with his players' performance so far. Coaches always want a little more production, but I think they've controlled the pace of the second period so far, and they're up 1-0.
Disfeld was the intended target from the pass from Renhack. The Italians can't go across the line. They're going to be offside. It's a late offside. It's coming Stoop. And it's the puck movement needs to come quicker from the defense to the offense for the German side. And that's a great play to get in front of it and to take it away. As that intended was to really put pressure on the defense. And that was Radice, who just muscled that into a safe area, not allowing the Germans to get free and behind him. Radice again will take it, and this is just good, solid defense, really, keeping the puck in the German defensive zone.
Yeah, we saw a couple of Germans floating in the neutral zone there, and him stepping up and making a play on that puck prevented a possible odd man rush against the Italians.
Germany having to regroup, and they look a little disjointed on that attempting play there. The icing is blown off. The whistle or the arm had been up, but they indicated the last second to wave it off. And now the Italians will come back. This is the first time maybe for the German side to get up in some numbers and to support this forecheck as it scores, who is just now muscling against 2 Italian players. Stoop arriving late as well. They'll work and battle in this area, and Sklors is doing all the work, and he's just kind of got some circling team support, but not quite close enough. The Italians will win that puck, and they'll take it down the far wing, working to get that puck back. And again, now the Germans are in a difficult position. They could get stripped here. And this is a good check. Renhack, some speed, can come through. Great work from Rosa. And what a well-played maneuver by Rosa just to use his body position to protect that puck.
Yeah, using the bigger frame there against the smaller Renhack to just out-muscle him a little bit. But ultimately, Germany on the attack here.
Here they come. A shot from outside, muscling it forward. They can't quite get it on to the power hand. as they'll just try to get out in front. Arado needs to come to the other side post. A clearing play by the Italians around the board. The Germans, though, with some good sustained pressure now. And they need to get as many bodies in on that puck as possible, as one man against these two Italian defenders breaking out isn't going to quite cut it. As Rosa on his own just loves to carry that puck and loves to have it on his stick.
Germany doing a good job here of keeping the Italians pinned in the zone. Great pass. Oh, Schrader just couldn't quite handle it.
It was a great play to spin and fire and try and get Schrader on the way to the goal with that right angle. Here he comes across the line. Shot is up and goes whistling by Kuntz and around and out into the neutral zone. Line changes for both sides. He's just navigating across that line. Kuntz knocks that one down with his glove and waiting to see. That doesn't quite get out. And this is really just going to be a real battle as he has enough energy to sustain himself. Frustration. Renhack is getting frustrated. Need to be careful here. There's whistles coming on the play and a penalty coming up. Whether or not he's taking Caligaris and Renhack or just the one, that's what we're going to see here in a second.
Renhack comes in. Hands are a little high on the check here. Double fist to the chest, but the referee always gets the retaliation, right?
You're right, he does come in up high and he finishes the play, and it's a borderline. And
little taunting action going on by Renhack.
He's catching flies or something there.
He'll take the penalty, and Germany going on the power play here, try to generate some offense and tie the game up.
And a power play opportunity for the Germans inside of the last minute of the second period. And is this just in time for the Germans to change the tide of this one? Well, only the seconds ahead of us will tell. It is just outlast Renhack. And Renhack needs to just get himself regrouped, as that image a moment ago making me chuckle. A long shot in as Renhack is everywhere right now. And they can't quite hold it in there, as the Italians will just see enough of that strike out as 30 seconds remaining in the second period. A great clearance and just enough skill as they're waiting for Herring to get himself back upright and to clear the offensive zone. Good work here from Winkler. Winkler with an assist already on the only goal in this hockey game.
A little surprised on the Germans' offensive power play there. They've done a good job the whole game of keeping the pucks in along the boards, and both chances thus far, they kind of let it easy clear for the Italians.
And that's the way it'll finish. Stump at the end looking to get a long shot in, but it was blocked by the resilient Italian defense, and a power play for the German side will start this third period, still with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining. Some great work there, and both sides, neither of them able to score in that second period, but some great action and great competition.
Strong period for both teams. Doesn't look like it on the scoreboard. 1-0, only 5-6 with the shots in favor of Germany, but both teams have done a good job of blocking shots, getting in front of shooters. A good hard game so far.
McCree is the only goal scorer in this game so far. That back in the first period. The Italians lead after 30 minutes of play. Join us for the third period coming up.
going to be loud in here in a little bit, huh? Sold out?
Welcome back to Buffalo and the 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships. And we are just moments away from starting the third period, and the Italians still holding that slim 1-goal lead. And the 6 shots apiece, the scoring chances equally as well. A lot of chances where they're in good position but missing the net. Face-offs pretty close as well. Neither team converting in the power play, and it's real small margins in this one, Taylor. And possibly the shot from McCree, that 1 goal for the Italians, may stand up in this game with only 15 minutes remaining here in regulation play.
Been a real defensive battle so far, and Kunst in the German net has really stood on his head, made a couple of huge saves. We'll see here some of the saves he's made. Sharp angles. He took that one off the wrist, I think. Injured his wrist a little bit, a little stinger there. He had to take a minute, but right back in the net. Took another one. That's another angle of there. And then a huge save right here to keep the score 1-0. Seems like the Italians really focusing on using some of the sharp angles, but the Germans doing a good job of keeping them out. It's been a real physical game from both sides. You see there going into the boards really hard with Stumpe. And Germany just really trying to establish a physical presence. Got a retaliation penalty there against the Italians. A little taunting from Rinhack, the captain. He's got his team on the power play here with a minute 04 left in the power play as we start the third period, and Germany will look to capitalize and equalize the score.
Didn't get a whole lot from that start of the power play at the end of the second period. They are certainly going to need to push one level higher, as Simon Kunst has done his job. Just that 1 goal in this hockey game, and it was the angled shot. Arado has done his job as well, and like I said, there isn't a whole lot in this one to really be able to measure the difference as Massimo Durin looks on. And this German power play, they need to push on. As you look at McCree, he is the one who has the goal in this hockey game. And a defenseman who was down really in an offensive situation in that game. And it's just one of those things that just, he took his chance when it came. And like I said, this has got a hallmarks of a game where maybe 1 goal is all that's going to be scored tonight.
McCree made a good decision to pinch in on the far boards there as Winkler was battling in the corner, and he popped the puck out to him right about the hash mark and was able to capitalize. And like you said, that might be all it's needed, or the Germans might come out with a bang right here and try to equalize early on.
And the puck is dropped underway. The Italians to it first, and Rosa, who is short-handed, takes the aggressive forward stance. He'll go after this puck, and the Germans kind of standing around, and almost maybe, as sometimes is the case in the power play, you expect the puck to come to you, but you got to go get it. And now they're working to get it back, and Rosa is just causing all sorts of mayhem inside of this defensive zone for Germany, and they're spending valuable, precious power play seconds in their own zone, and they end up taking a penalty as a result, and that all comes off the face-off here to start the third period.
Way too casual by the Germans there to start the period off. Fresh sheet of ice, a minute left on the power play. Really their opportunity to establish some presence in the offensive zone to get some scoring chances. And like you said, it seemed like they were just standing around a little bit, watching Rosa waste precious seconds off their power play, and ultimately took a penalty of their own, and now will be 4-on-4 for 43 seconds. You see Winkler just slightly edged off right there by Stumpe, allowing Paps to pick the puck up, and I guess the referee saw a little too much pick and roll there for his liking.
And just like that, the window of offensive opportunity for the Germans is wiped clean. And a little bit more space now on the ice as we'll be 4-on-4. And an opportunity as we're just waiting for the score clock to get regulated and to clear up. And you see Sven looking on from the penalty box. There you see the clear perspex in order for the players in the penalty box to see out onto the ice surface. And there is the correction going on from the official, just trying to clarify exactly what time is still left on the game clock and making sure that these penalties correspond so that they are, well, counting down appropriately. 43 seconds still remaining on the initial minor penalty to Caligaris, and that was started at the end of the second period, and just seeming to need some clarity for both teams, as again that penalty just been wiped off of the score clock now and needs to be reset.
I referred to that penalty as a pick and roll, but this isn't basketball. It's actually an interference call. But you get the idea of what the referee's kind of looking at there to make that call. Player, preventing the opposing player from having a clear shot at the puck carrier.
And 33 seconds now remaining, so 10 seconds the differential. So that much quicker, the Italians will have a power play opportunity. There's a long-range effort from Rosa, and it will just make its way around the board. The Italians have kept in a shot there, goes long side and around, and they work to get the puck back in possession. The Germans now need to come forward, use this extra little bit of space on the ice in which to generate some offensive pressure. Seconds are counting down for Caligaris, who will be back out on the ice, and then it will be an Italian power play. Need to be careful here, though. They've turned it over, and Herring is in behind the goal. Herring could just set this up slowly. It's on the stick, and an effort up and over there, and Arado doesn't quite take it cleanly. Rosa, though, so quick on his sled to get to the action. Wide up to Planker, can't connect the pass, and as a result, actually an icing call will go against them. As you see the frustration from Planker, he was looking to get into an open space, and he couldn't quite connect and receive the puck. And now they're back in their own zone to start with 1 minute and 8 seconds still remaining on the power play advantage.
I think he was a little worried about going off sides there and catching that pass, and just missed it.
Face off to the left of Arado, who didn't quite comfortably take those shots that were sent in from the Germans. And you wonder whether or not a loose play like that could in fact be, well, play that leads to an equalizer or possibly increasing this one-goal margin moment. The Italians with control. Rosa is a danger man. Look at the scramble in front and just driving on by. Really needed to stop and stay in front. That was Planker, who was the intended target here. He's getting turned around, shot, and a save again by Kunst. And there is Planker as he's red-faced, and that's from the work ethic going on all game. He's out there and logs a lot of ice time, but he almost had his back to the play and not in the best position in which to take advantage.
And we see here, if he would have just stopped right there in front of the crease by the German defenseman, he would have had a clear shot at a rebound, tap in, double their lead. Unfortunately, he skated right past the goal and took himself out of the play.
Rosa shot, well blocked though. Great German defense. As Pats comes rolling out, he takes that in the midsection. He's still down, and the whistle finally is blown as the official will call the play. And Pats took that one right in the breadbasket, and he's just getting his wind back, possibly the wind knocked out of him, as he did take a forceful shot from the Italians. And you'll see it again as he comes out and just sacrifices the body and probably just under the shoulder pad protection and right in the sternum there.
Yeah, and these top shooters in ice sledge hockey are shooting the puck, 50, 60 miles an hour, and taking one right in the sternum from close range like that, it's definitely going to leave a mark, and I feel his pain. I've taken a few of those over the years.
Sacrificing the body to make the play. He's kept this game within a shot. 12:57 remaining in this third period, and only 6 shots apiece, and shots have been at a premium in this match, and the power play still in employment for 29 more seconds or less, as it will be a battle for Planker to get control. And it's into those trench areas again. Rosa, so magnetic. Oh, and a shot there. Kuntz takes it down as he snares one in the catcher. And that was nailed on for the top right corner, and he takes it away. Watch this again.
It's a great save by Kuntz, tracking the puck the whole way, pass to the middle, and just snags it right out of the air. You can see here from the shooter's perspective, tried to go top shelf, but Kuntz on his game there.
McCree in again, and a shot scrambles. Dying seconds on this power play, and the Germans will do enough just to get it out to safety, and the seconds counting down. And back now to 5-on-5 play is Stumpe is out there and trying to get it through, and just hope McCree a great job to make certain of that not getting through, as there was a German player looking for anything left over and to take advantage of the space in behind him here again. Once more, though, the Italians doing enough just to not allow the Germans to get a whole lot of speed, and certainly not coming up together in numbers. And it's difficult for the Germans right now, as they can't seem to connect the pass or nor, as I say, come up and support the puck and try to outnumber the Italians. But now they've got a partial break through the neutral zone here. A long shot in. They can go and do something about this forecheck. Only one player, though. Back, Leperti is in a good position. He's bumped off the play. Disbell is the first one to it. And they are 2-on-2 battling over there. Stumpe is there. Here's a chance maybe now. And Schroeder needed to stop and get himself available and ready. A real sort of speculative effort there from the outside, and it would just wrap around the boards. And for the first time in a while, the German side getting a little bit of offensive zone pressure, but McCree comfortably taking it, moving it up. Planker was the intended target. Now across, this is a chance in a tight space, battling to get control, but 5 Italian players back, and they hunt in packs defensively, making sure to keep the Germans to just one chance, and then done is Caligaris, wide side. McCree, the goal scorer, will take it up the left wing. He's got Planker, Rosa coming into a high defensive position here. And Planker will roll. He's got options of who to pass it to. Rosa will recover, though, as he is so capable of closing down time and space, and he'll just move it back in behind the goal line once again.
The Italians looking a little comfortable with the 1-goal lead here, just being patient, trying not to force anything. They definitely don't want to make a mistake. If you notice, they always have at least one defenseman back by the red line, even when they have control of the puck in the offensive zone.
Good work. The Italians are making a line change. Some daylight now for the German side to move forward. They're disrupted again, though. Rosa, so formidable a presence on that Italian blue line. And look who's on the puck again. It's Rosa. And he was trying to create some offense. A whistling clearance in. It'll get it safely in behind. Pill is the one to shoot it in for Germany. And they're trying to link a play up into the slot area. Kiroti. And it's a delayed offside, is blown down by the linesman as he does a couple pirouettes on the way over to get the puck. And he finds his footing again. You are seeing top flight action at the World Championship. McCree, the only goal scorer in this game thus far. It still stands up with 9:48 remaining in the third period. We're looking at the valiant colors of the German flag as they are on the cusp of an important victory in Pool B with 9:48 remaining. And getting my colors mixed up, the Italian flag there is the good work as they're back and forth. The Germans now scores in a good defensive position.
It's good to see the Italians still remaining pretty aggressive. They're not really taking their foot off the pedal. Still going to take chances to try to double their lead here. And a lot of times teams get in trouble by letting off too soon and playing a more defensive style game. But they're really putting the pressure on the Germans here still.
Good work. Scores in those trenches. And now Stumpe will work. And again, the Italians are just right on top of the Germans, not giving them much breathing space. They're a bigger side, are the team in blue, and they just seem to be able to track down and close down any opportunities that are partially opening. This is a 50-50 puck battle, and McCree just elects to allow Scores just to play it in, but only one forechecker, Schroeder. And it is Disbell who gets it, but puts it right back on the Italian stick. And with 5 players in good support, they'll just force this German side back and push this play right into their defensive zone again and trying to force a mistake.
With less than 8.5 minutes to go, Germany really needs to pick up their forecheck and put the Italians under a little bit more pressure, try to force a mistake. Sending one guy in this late in the game with a 1-0 deficit isn't how you want to play, but now Schroeder with a look.
Look at that chance, Schroeder, as he goes over the left side. And just a little bit of room there. Arado outstretched. And is this a little bit of momentum for the Germans? Here he is to the corner, the first one to it, but he needs some more bodies with him. The Germans trying to make a line change at the same time. Herring supporting to play Renhack. We haven't seen a lot of Renhack in this third period. Seen a lot of them in the first 2. As the Italians making line changes on this rush, so are the Germans. They'll break out the Germans, but they need someone to pass to. And it's a wide side play here now, and they can't quite link it up. And the Italians are quick to recover. Back, it's Rasa. And the big man just serves it up right on the stick. Binkler. Caligaris, Binkler, and a right into the glove of Kunst again. And he had it set in perfect position, but the long-range shot at great height, again in employment, and the Italians come close.
You can see Schroeder coming down the left side and Planker just coming back in time to get a stick on the puck as he took that shot. Just reaches out the last second, just gets the end of his stick out to make a deflection. Great job back checking by the Italian forward.
Very important indeed. Just the small change of direction means everything. That puck ends up going wide as a result. And you see some of the, like you say, the elevated shots, they can be difficult to defend. So if you can make certain that they don't actually hit goal, but some good work, the Italians, the shot there, swiping in. Kunz is a long ways out, he can't get to it. A short angled shot, still scrambling. He's got it in behind the goal line now. And they will work to recover it. Calm is Herring, under a lot of pressure. They are playing with fire though. In, out, a shot, and they can't get it connected. It'll just be outside the reach of Caligaris. And it will go for icing. And the Germans will have to maintain those players on the ice. And another face-off inside their own zone. The Italians can get fresh troops on the ice.
Seems like the Germans might be running a little bit out of gas here. And Radice with a good shot on net. Trying to use the screen there. And Binkler with the follow-up on the rebound, but just couldn't get it past Kuntz. Again, the German defenders doing a pretty good job of clogging up the middle and backing up their goalie. They need to pick up the pace a little bit. They're a little too casual in the defensive zone with less than 6.5 minutes left.
Good work from Leperti. It's kept in well. Rosa, long up and over. And that is dropped in behind the goal, but the first one to it. The Italians again, a shot. The defense is good in front. Oh, and across the goal mouth there as it goes right through the blue paint. And the Germans will come back to support this play, but they can't exit cleanly. And once more, the Italians are able just to sniff out where those pucks will end up. And here's a play down the right-hand side, holding it in. Arado outstretched just to put that puck to safety in the corner. And the Germans in support. They don't do enough, though, to disrupt this breakout. And the Italians will come up this right wing. It's in. Rosa dropping it in behind. This is a little bit of an awkward bounce, and those lively boards will have a part to play throughout this entire World Championships for sure. 5:31 remaining in this third period. And you look again at Rosa with a lofted effort going up and over the nets.
Not a bad decision there by Rosa, just to try to get the puck on the net. There was a lot of bodies between him and the goaltender, so you never know what can go in. Again, a coach is never going to be upset with you taking a shot on net, especially when you play as good as Rosa has this afternoon.
And there's a timeout as you see both teams to their respective benches, and the Germans really electing to take that. They needed it. They were bending at the moment, and they cannot afford to concede another one. They may have a trick up their sleeve to get themselves a goal level, maybe be able to push this game to some extra time, but a second goal with only this much remaining in this third period, well, probably unlikely given that they haven't been able to score thus far. So an important strategic timeout call, and they will look at how they will match up against the Italians. 5-on-5 with his face-off to the left of Kunst.
The Germans just looking a little bit more tired than the Italians, trying to get used to the pace of the A-pool play here in Buffalo. It's much faster than even the B-pool, championship games. So trying to keep pace here and not make a mistake.
They're doing well. They're trying to navigate a route out of the zone, and it's not been easy to find, but they have a left wing pass. They're trying to link it up, immediately closed down though. That's an aggressive play again as Rosa will just determine how far that German forecheck was going to be allowed to continue. And look at him skate now, in and out, and he is silky smooth as Rosa, but he can't link it up to Large. It will get away. The referee with the arm up indicating the possibility of icing, but it is waved off, and a loose clearing play there as the Italians will keep it in, continuing to work. They've done enough there, and the Germans looking for an effort. Possibly they've got some support in the middle of the ice, and again strong movement. Laperdi is back, and the Italians, as we march down inside of 5 minutes remaining in this third period, really good coming back underneath that puck and not really giving even a partial chance to gain some momentum for the German side.
You're seeing the Italians pretty much keep two defenders back now. Not as much worried about keeping the puck in the zone.
Off the crossbar and no goal. The celebration on the far side. The referee quickly waving it off. And a dynamic strike again, but it is only the post that will deny the Italians doubling their lead. Good work as they'll scramble in front, and the Germans are on the ropes right now.
Great chance there for the Italians. Kunz got a little help from the crossbar, and he'll take that any day of the week.
Good work to recover. Germany trying to link up, and they just can't get that connected pass and trying to let the puck do the work. At the moment, it's too much hard work trying to skate out of the zone, and it's like skating through treacle right now as the Italians are everywhere and closing down any escape route they're looking for. As once again, two Italian forecheckers on the play. They try to get it up, and it's Renhack who's the intended target all the way down length of the ice, and icing is waved off. And this is where you'll see the Germans trying to come up and get to the puck, but they are a little short and a little late as it's just caromed into a good position here by Caligaris.
Just getting late in the game, and the Germans starting to look for that home run pass for a breakaway a little bit here. You see Renhack floating out high. but as a consequence, they're kind of getting hemmed into their zone because they're playing a 5-on-4 in the zone with the forward circling in the neutral zone.
Here's a chance. It's just falling favorably for Renhack. He's got some speed. Maybe around Rosa. Down this left wing side, Renhack. It's off the body of Arado, and back is Rosa. And quickly, the referee with the call, and a very quick whistle indeed there, as he was indicating actually outside of the zone. And a little bit of a curious quick whistle call.
Possibly an offside. Oh, there's an injury on the far boards here. Just out of our... Take a look back here. DiPioli, the nice shot. Oh, it was off the German defender Sklors and then off the post.
And Renhack back the other way, and meanwhile, down that whole time, the Italian player, and from our vantage point, couldn't actually see it down in that corner. He was below board level, and now back and involved. It was Caligaris who looked to be shooken up on the play. They allowed Renhack to have the opportunity. As soon as the opportunity had been completed, then they blew the whistle just in consideration of safety for the players first. But Renhack with as good a chance as Germany have had.
Yeah, the Italians dodged a bullet on that one. Renhack came up with a lot of speed, put a good shot on net. Unfortunately, couldn't capitalize, and still 1-0 Italy with just under 2.5 minutes left.
Laperti in to take this draw. Up against Herring, a shot here. Paps goes by the far side. Good battle. And they are muscle for it. Veda can't quite get it. And Herring goes hard into the boards. Winkler is met with an aggressive body check as well. Need to be careful, almost turned over, just enough speed. Blanker with great recovery there, just to power himself into a good position. And inside of 2 minutes remaining in this third period, Paps with Winkler all over him. And you wonder whether Kuntz will be pulled in favor of an extra attacker, as they'll work and find a way. Calm and cool under pressure. McCree again. Herring trying to get it. He gets hit high and hard. A scramble in front. This is a danger play to level 8, and Germany can't quite get to it. Renhack totally outstretched and trying to muscle it past Arado. And Renhack, we've seen more of him in the later stages of this third period. 1.5 minutes remaining, and what a play in front.
You see here just a little bit of a discombobulated play, the puck bouncing in, and those are really tough for the goalie to control, especially with the German forward putting him under additional pressure there.
Once the goalkeeper commits himself, he's kind of down, particularly as he will go to one side. And you're right, once he's committed, as you look at the German bench discussing how they want to align themselves with a face-off inside the Italian zone, and there is Kuntz now coming off the ice in the favor of what will be an extra outskater for the German side in hopes to try and get the equalizing goal.
Germany's had a few good chances here late in the period. They might be able to generate something here off the face-off and tie the game up late. Just got to focus on the face-off first, win it back, and then see what they can do.
And you see the play. That was actually the Italian coaching board there talking about trying to release the puck to the weak side where none of the players are, and hoping to get to it first and get into a skating race with these Germans and hopefully get there to be able to release the pressure and get out to the neutral zone. But the Germans have their own ideas, as they have 6 players on the ice. 2 defenders line up, and they are with an extra attacker there in front of goal. Puck is dropped, and Rosa will get to it first, and that's exactly the guy you don't want to have to get it. That was what they drew up on the board, and he'll play it around into the neutral zone, and it's a long ways now for the Germans to come back from there. But 1 minute and 17 seconds, and a whistle and a face-off outside of the German defensive blue line.
That's exactly what the Italian coach had drawn up for his players. Pull it back to Rosa, quick wraparound to get out of the zone before the German defender could cut it off on the far boards.
And the referee indicating where the face-off will be and giving certainty as the Germans look a little bit out of sorts themselves, not too practiced in having a goaltender out, and it's unusual equally to have a goaltender out when you're in this sort of defensive position where you're at your own blue line. But here's a chance, lifted up into a good area. It's Green, and McCree can elevate it and get in position, but Italian players need to clear the zone. They do a delayed offside, giving room for the Germans. A linked effort here across the line. Renhack will play it in. Arado electing to keep it live rather than having a face-off in his own zone. Rosa. It's kept in though. Here's a chance late. From the outside, Arado will see it into the corner. First one's to it, Paps. And the Germans can't keep it in this time. It's a little late, and the Italians will get it out. 30 seconds remaining in this game, potentially, as it will go deep, and it's going to be an icing and an ill-advised clearance from the Italians with 25.2 seconds, an icing call against, and a face-off right in front of Arado.
Kelly Garris just didn't get enough angle on it there. His idea was just to dump it across the ice to the other side of the rink, but just got a little too much on it. Instead of going all the way across, it went all the way down. And another chance late here for Germany.
A face-off as they get themselves set, coming to this near side. Lisvede. Puck is dropped. Stumpe with a chance. It's in the body. He's got to get back to it first. He'll recover it immediately. Planker is on him. Planker hasn't got enough German pressure on him. Wide side again, though. It's going to be icing one more time. And inside of 10 seconds, 8.1 exactly, is another opportunity here. And are there heroics in store for this German side? Well, the Italians feel confident they can defend against it, as twice now in the last minute they've iced the puck.
Plinker a little upset with himself for icing it there. He knew he could have done better with it, but he's been strong in the face-off dot all day. Italy 24 face-off wins to Germany's 18, and he needs one more.
Battle, seconds preciously counting down. No space, no daylight, and congestion everywhere, and that will be the end. And the Italians, on the back of one goal and a slight little mistake, or maybe more opportunity taken advantage of by McCree for the Italians. That goal from a tight angle and a high wicked blast stands up and is the difference in this one. Full marks the Italians to hold strong throughout the remainder of the match.
Great game by both teams, and you know that shot by McCree, if you just put the puck on the net, you never know when it can go in, and unfortunately today Italy hit the net one more time than Germany, and came out with a 1-0 win.
That's one of the interesting things you see is the actual shots on goal as opposed to scoring chances. And Stumpe with a great effort here as the Germans are back in their own goal, and they'll be invited up to the blue line as both teams will acknowledge each other, and then they will have the announcement of the player of the game for both sides. And then stay with us as we will honor the Italians with the playing of their national anthem. And again, as we look here, so the players of the matches to be announced here coming up. And if we were looking at one for yourself, Taylor, on the Italian side, who might you think of?
Well, with the 1-0 shutout, I'm going to have to go with the goalie. He played a great game, a couple, one-on-one chances for some of the German forwards. He made some big saves to give his team the 1-0 victory. So I'm going with the goalie, Arado.
And it would be hard to bet against it with a shutout to his credit, and that being the only difference in the game, the one goal. We'll wait for the announcement. And it's actually the German side, first of all, Stumpe. He was very strong and formidable as well for the Germans, coming forward, playing physical, and also being very stingy on defense.
Definitely one of Germany's most physical players, and it's tough to play that style of hockey for a full game. He wasn't off the ice very much, so very deserving.
Congratulations to Sven Stumpe, who is all over the ice, and there you see a moment of frustration. He certainly had worked throughout this one as he was covered in sweat, and you were right. Arado will make his way across to receive the Player of the Game award, and with the shutout and a very important win as this tournament will progress. We're only in day one, and Gabriel Arado, very proud and strong performance for Italy in goal. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will honor the Italian win with the playing of the national anthem. Great scenes from the Italian side as they look up to their flag colors. And you look at the bench there, and a massive start for them in Pool B action.
So there you have it, the 1-0 win for Italy over Germany. 11 shots for Italy, 12 for Germany. Even at 8 scoring chances apiece, and then the face-off battle won by the Italians 25-18, and both teams 0 power play goals on the day.
Not to be overlooked, those face-offs, particularly in a tight game like this today, where one shot was the difference. As we look at the Germans back now at playing in Pool A, and they did a great job. We weren't sure exactly what we would see of them, and Kuntz was outstanding in goal, making the saves. The Italians, who were at the Paralympics just over a year ago, they are very capable of scoring. Strada with a good opportunity here. Arado making certain to keep his play from the outside of these long-range efforts. Very difficult to defend. And there, De Pauli actually thought he had scored. He went off the post and off the German defender. And it was an outstanding performance. But in the end, it was the goal from McCree in the first period that's the difference. And that's all that matters. Maximum points will go to Italy. Germany with a good showing, not quite there at this time. You've been watching the 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships. I'm Brent Pope. For Taylor Lipset, it's been our pleasure. Join us all week here in Buffalo, New York.